Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Podcast Action Committee. Take two, Action Committee, episode 181. Andrew here, along with Zachary Knight. Hello, Zachary.
Hello, everybody.
I am stuttering over my dental appliance here. So, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm a little tired. My wife had us. Because we just moved into our house a few weeks back, and so we still have a lot of unpacking to do. So all day long, I've been rearranging boxes in the garage so that they're a little more organized by room, so that they're easier to unpack. Because right now they were just all kind of just shoved in there. And I also got to put some stuff up in the attic, and so I'm really tired. Moving boxes is not fun, but did get to go on a bike ride today, which was nice. I got me a used bike. I may have to place one of the not the pedal, but the part that the pedal is on. I forget what that's called. It looks like it's kind of it comes loose, so that's really annoying.
I think the worst thing is when your shoelace gets caught in that sucker. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always bad. But yeah, other than being tired, I've actually had a pretty good day, so I'm happy. I've been playing. I played 3 games this week. I've been replaying the first 2 Breath of Fire games. I'm about 80% done with the second Breath of Fire now, so that should be fun. I'll probably complete that next week. I played more Trine, and I'm getting an echo of myself. Is that coming from you, or
I'm not hearing it.
I don't know. I don't have it open anywhere.
Let me make sure I have everything muted. Yeah.
Okay, it may just be feedback or something, but yeah, I'm playing more Trine. That's going a little bit slower than because I'm playing more Breath of Fire right now. But I want to keep getting through Trine, and then I also picked up what's the current Humble bundle that's on. I forget which one that one is, but it came with Magica 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Humble Jumbo bundle. And so I ever since Magica came out, I've wanted to play it, and I really liked their the Birds trailer that they had, the Bird trailer that they had that came out way back when. That one was great, and so I got to play that a little bit today, and it's actually pretty fun. I'm still learning, and so it's still I'm still dying fairly frequently, but so far the game plays all right. But I'm at the first real boss battle, and it seems that the boss battle is either expecting me to be a little more proficient with the controls than I am, or it's expecting me to have at least one other team member. So, because the game you can do 4 players playing at once. So, I'm playing by myself, so I don't have the luxury of having other people around. So, this first boss battle is really kicking my butt, and so I took a pause on that one, but I do like the game. It's really cool. Just blending the is there 8 elements or 6? I can't remember. I think there's 8, and you just blend these types of magics together to do different things. Like you can use the shield magic and earth and cast it on yourself, and you get like a bunch of rocks stuck to yourself as extra physical armor. Or you can just use shield by itself, and that does some stuff too, or protects you as well. And then and you get fire and water and lightning and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I like it. I want to play more of it. But yeah, it's definitely something that I want to try with multiple people, but I'm playing with my keyboard and mouse right now, and I don't know how it would play with a controller, because I believe it accepts controller support. So I just haven't gotten around to trying it with the controller yet. So I don't know how that would play. But especially with the, because it's Q, W, E, R, A, S, D, and F are your elements, and you select between those, or you select them to to make your magic. So I don't know how that translates to a controller. But, yeah.
I've been jonesing for more Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that on Twitter this week, complaining that there's not a new Monster Hunter for consoles.
Yeah, I know. These the first world problems are kicking my ass, man. You know, there's a new Monster Hunter coming out, and it looks great, but it's not how I want to play it, man. It's not. It's not catering and tailored exactly to my whims, and that bums me right the hell out. For those who don't know, I'm talking about Monster Hunter, as the name implies, is a game where you fight giant monsters like 65-foot dragons with a sword bigger than you are. Call me crazy, but I don't want to play that on a little 4-inch screen. I want to play that on my TV. I played Monster Hunter 4 demo on my 3DS, which was partially funded by awesome people like you. Thanks. And the game is great. It's mechanically sound, but I just don't want to play it on a handheld. And it doesn't look like we're getting console Monster Hunter anytime soon, and that bums me out.
Yeah.
I tried
Maybe
playing.
You'll get an enhanced edition in like 6 months to a year.
Maybe
for the console.
You know, the Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate oddly was based on the 3DS port of Monster Hunter Tri. And while it looked better than Tri, there were some aspects that were actually worse, like the water. I'm like, why did you use the water from the 3DS when you could have used the water from the Wii, which looked a lot better? But, oh well.
Yeah.
Delirical concurs. We need a Wii U version too for Monster Hunter 4 and Generations, the localized title of Monster Hunter X. Protoman Dan says, I've spent hundreds of hours on Monster Hunter 4, some great times. Between Tri and 3 Ultimate, I've put in close to 500 hours, I would think. I actually did the guide for 3 Ultimate, and I will never do another guide for Monster Hunter. It takes too damn long.
Yeah.
But wonderful game. Those are games that you either dig or you don't. That's one of those. I know nobody who's like, Monster Hunter, it's okay. I know people who are, oh, Monster Hunter, and people who, why do you like that game? It's one of those incredibly divisive games, but if it's for you, hoo boy, is it for you. I also tried playing Faster Than Light a little bit again this week, FTL. After watching a couple Let's Plays from people who really know what they're doing and reading up on some basic strategy for the game to make sure I wasn't missing something. Because if you remember from last week, I played... I've actually put in about 10 hours on FTL. I like the game. It's just frustrating because I'm not a very lucky human being. Luck is never on my side. I coast through life on skill because luck is never there for me. And FTL is the kind of game that skill will only get you so far. If you are not, if fortune does not smile upon you, you're going to die. And at least I think I'm a big enough person to admit when I have blown it. When I play video games and I die, I'm like, that's on me. I missed the jump, or I mistimed it, or I should have gone around to the right, or something. When I die in Faster Than Light, I never feel like it's my fault. I never feel like I'm getting better or learning anything or that there's anything I could have done different other than win a coin flip, you know? So,
Yeah.
that's I'm probably done with FTL, which is sad because I really like the game. I just can't get anywhere in it because fortune does not favor me. Um, I'm also still on Baten Kaitos trying to get through that damned Trial of Souls, whatever it is. It's an area of the game where it's a shooter segment in an RPG
Yeah.
where you have to shoot waves of enemies, and if you shoot everyone in the wave, a card pops up, and you have to actually navigate your ship to pick it up, otherwise you miss it. And some of the cards are only available in this sequence. So if you miss a wave or miss the card, it's gone forever unless you retry the whole thing. Not only that, but you have to actually botch some of the waves so that you can fight the enemies in them, because this is the only area in the game that you can face them. Which is two things. One, there's one of those Beastopedia things where you take a picture of every single
Yeah.
enemy you fight, and it puts it in your scrapbook, so to speak. So you have to fight the two unique enemies, take pictures of them, which is something that you're kind of reliant on your camera cards. Actually, it's a card-based fighting system, so you're reliant on the card, the actual correct cards shuffling to the front of your deck before you actually kill the damn things. And one of the random drops can only be obtained from these monsters that are only found here. So again, luck is never on my side. And doing the entire sequence takes about half an hour. So it's not like something you can try over and over again really quickly.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been at the point where I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's just time to accept that I'm not going to 100% this game and just move on and enjoy the damn game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I won't get the frost cap or secret recipe number 4, which means I'll never be able to get secret recipe number 10, but such is life. I've been playing this game for 10 years. Perhaps it's time to move on, because if I don't, I will probably put the game down and come back to it in another 5 years and start it from the beginning again. So
Yeah, I tend to accept my fate and just move on and say, yeah, I'm not gonna 100% this game, because I rarely 100% any games these days.
you've got like 6 kids, so. Delirical asks, does Baten Kaitos contain traditional RPG mechanics with a card-based system? Yes. It is turn-based, although there is a bit of a timer. You only have so that you have a deck which you can build yourself out of all of your cards, and you've got hundreds of cards. So each character can hold, depending on their class, which levels up, they can hold right now each character can hold 40 cards. So I build the deck of 40 cards, and it shuffles out 5 or 6 at a time. And I have a few seconds to quickly look at the cards, and they're all numbered like regular playing cards. And playing straights gets you bonuses, and playing pairs and 3 of a kind gets you bonuses. So you have to really quickly examine your card and pick which cards you want to play in which order. And also some cards will pair together to make a new card. For instance, if you play the flower and fire burst, you will get a new card, burnt ashes, or something like that. Or log and then knife, and you get whittled wood card, or something like that.
Interesting.
And some of your cards change over time. For example, you can have a card that's milk, and after a couple hours, it will change into cheese. So you actually have some food cards, like various fruits and vegetables and stuff, and they're health restorative items. But over time, the cards will actually change to rotten fruit, and they become attack cards. And instead of being restorative healing items, you use them to attack enemies. But yes, that you do gain experience from beating enemies, which you use to level up. and there's actually 2 leveling up. There's your level up, which affects your hit points and magic points and things like. There are no magic points. Sorry, hit points and what's the other thing? I forget what the other thing is. But there are also things you collect to class up, and that dictates how many cards you can hold, how many cards you have in your hand, how big your deck is, how many cards you can hold in your hand at the same time, how long you have to choose cards before your turn ends, that kind of a thing. So yeah, traditional RPG mechanics with the card-based system. Really, really fun. I really like the game, but there's a bunch of stuff in the game that's permanently missable, and you will never know that unless somebody tells you, and I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that too. It's like,
especially for a 60-hour RPG, man. Come on.
Yeah. Well, like Final Fantasy IX, that one, in order to get the best sword for Steiner, the knight, you have to basically speed run the game, and the first time you play through, there's no way you're getting this sword. The second time you go play through the game, there's no way you're getting this sword. You know, you basically have to know the game inside out in order to get to this game in 12 hours, or get to this area where the sword is in 12 hours. And there's a lot of stuff you're going to miss along the way in order to get there, just to get this one sword in 12 hours. And it's like, okay, it's either you permanently miss that sword or you permanently miss a whole bunch of other stuff so you can get that sword. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I forget which Final Fantasy it is. Maybe it's 11 or something, but one of them, unless my buddy Brian was lying to me, one of them has a sword or weapon or something that you have to beat the game without opening a certain treasure chest. And there's apparently nothing in the game that tells you don't open this chest. So if you don't open this chest, apparently then in the end game you go back and it's the Ultra Uber sword, something like that. I vaguely recall that. And Baten Kaitos actually has something similar to that. In the very front of the game, your companions die. Spoilers, it's the front of the game. And you collect their personal effects. It's the Warrior's Mementos or something like that. And you come across their family like a third of the way through the game. And you think, oh, I should return the personal effects of these dead people to their family. That would be the nice thing to do. And you're rewarded for that, but what you don't know is after something ridiculous like 50 hours, that card, the Warrior's Mementos, changes into the Warrior's Memories, which is another card you need to complete your card collection to 100% game. And then you can give it to their family. And there's nothing that you would never know that. And that's stupid. Oh, the lyrical says Final Fantasy 12. And Protoman says there's something similar in Bravely Default. That's horse poop. Developers, don't do that. Zachary, you're an indie dev. Don't ever do that in your hands.
Well, I think it's okay to do stuff like that as long as you give the player sufficient hints in the game so that they can figure it out. It's like, you say, there's a treasure chest that you probably don't want to open. Perhaps before you open it, you read an inscription on the treasure chest, and you can make the decision. And however the inscription is worded, you can make the decision to continue opening or leave it. Or have somebody else, somebody in the game or something you find before that, say, hey, there's this treasure chest that you don't want to open because it's got a magical item in there that's still percolating.
Yeah. So over on YouTube, Gamer Skeleton says no.
Okay.
No punctuation, no capitalization, just no. So
yeah, thanks for your insight. We'll take it to heart.
Yes. Your no is exactly right. No, game developers, do not do that. So, all right, let us. Our first topic today is the week's poll, which is something I just decided to have fun with, and The poll asks, let's pretend that all the presidential hopefuls, all the people running for president of the United States for our international readers, get together and play a round of Super Smash Brothers. Who wins? And that's a stupid poll, but I thought it was fun. So we had 163 people participate in our poll. And the winning vote, 32% of the vote went to who cares? They're all losers.
Yeah.
Which I kind of figured that's where it would go. So it breaks down. 163 people voted. 52 said who cares? They're all losers. 41 said Bernie Sanders. 22 said Marco Rubio. 19 said Donald Trump. 16 said Hillary Clinton. 8 said Ted Cruz, and only 5 people said John Kasich. I was one of those 5 people. Now, here is my reasoning for picking John Kasich out of anybody else. If you've watched the debates, have you seen John there? I haven't. I don't know if he's not there or nobody cares, and they're just kind of cutting him off. He's like standing there, and they're like, nah, zoom in a little bit more. Okay, there, John's at it. So my guess is John is the only one of the 6 that actually has time to go home and practice. And he's using that time. Instead of debating, he's home practicing his Pikachu. So he would win in the hypothetical.
He Pikachu, huh?
Well, and he spams that damn Sky Electric Shock thing, which I know is in Melee or Brawl. I don't know if that carried over to the Wii U 3DS version. I'm assuming it did, but
yeah, I'm.
Go ahead.
Oh, but I look at this poll and I look at it, you know. Who in this would have any idea what Smash Brothers is? And out of all of these people, I would say Marco Rubio is probably the most likely to know because he's the youngest of the group, and probably I don't know how many kids he has, or if he even has any, but you know, he's the one that's most likely to have younger children, you know, who would actually play Smash Brothers, and so he might actually get some playtime in every once in a while.
Kids, teach Dad how to play.
Yeah.
Okay. Laxter tells me that it's Kasich, not Kasich. Maybe if he'd ever been on the debates, I'd know how to pronounce his name. The Lyrical says none of them would know what a controller is. Also, give them Mario Party or Power Stones, and let's see what happens then. Laxter says Rubio looks the most like a gamer, and I'd say if you look at pictures of all of them, Rubio just being, I guess,
he's the youngest
male. Yeah. He looks more stereotypically prone to gaming than anybody else, because while gaming is very, very popular, what's the average gamer in their 30s or something like that? He's the only one who's
35. Yeah.
The rest of the Bernie Sanders is old. Hey, video games scare off my lawn, kids. He has that stereotypical look to him. So
yeah, and I don't think Hillary Clinton wants to play games because considering her past with them.
History. Yeah, I think she's just moved on from games. They're not a hot button thing anymore. But we did have one comment that was kind of funny. Infofile says, here's what I see happening. Trump makes a minor mistake. Rubio berates him for it, and Trump blows up and pulls out everyone's controllers. The Republicans start squabbling like a bunch of elementary school boys, while the 2 Democrats wisely stay out of it. While Sanders is wondering why his controller doesn't work, Clinton plugs hers back in and mops the floor with everyone. She feels a bit guilty about using video game violence to achieve her goals, given her past stance on the matter, but she easily suppresses the feeling. I like that info file.
Yeah, the only qualm I have with this is her actually feeling guilt. I don't like she's felt guilt in her entire life.
You don't think she's even suppressing it? It's just not there.
No, it's just not there. She's a sociopath.
Okay,
but no, I like that. That is fun. That plays on the whole debate thing that's going on and everything. So that's a really insightful comment. I like that. I like that a lot. But of course, on a personal note, I think this poll kind of it plays to the unfortunate dialogue of there only being two parties, and I'm mad at you for that.
Well, I
No,
guess I could have added in Gary Johnson, but he would not be invited to play.
that's true. Yeah, this but
if
yeah,
if someone
this plays
actually
like the
did,
debates.
yeah, if Fox News or CNN, MSNBC, someone said, "All right, we're going to get the Republicans and Democrats to settle it in smash," Gary Johnson and no independent libertarian green, that none of them would be there. It would be all Republican and Democrat.
That's true. Yeah, that's because
I had to keep some realism.
all the libertarians are at home playing Bloody Roar. Yeah.
So,
yeah, but yeah, this was fun, and I when Andrew was asking us about the poll, I made the suggestion of including Luigi on there because Luigi always wins,
whether anyone's on the controller or not. Look on YouTube for, I forget what it's called, but someone did a video where they played 8-player but just left Luigi's controller alone and he wins.
They set it up where all 7 other players were the CPU, and Luigi was the only player controlled character, but he just left the controller sitting there, and Luigi won because of the AI is designed to attack those that are being active, I guess, or those that are nearby, and so the AI just kind of blows up everybody, and Luigi does lose lives he does I don't know if they're lives, I don't know the terminology, but he does get thrown off the arena once in a while, but ring outs, yeah, but he ends up winning based on score, and
Real Next Gen Vixen and Proto Man Dan both chimed in that it's called Luigi wins by doing absolutely nothing. So search for that on YouTube. It's actually pretty funny. And as both of them also point out, there are other games such as Mario Party that showcase Luigi winning by doing nothing.
I've seen those too, where the various mini games they'll have the one player controlled character in the mini game, not you doing anything, and all the other players all the other AI controlled characters will kill themselves. It's like every once in a while they'll hit a mini game where Luigi can't win if you're not doing anything, like the fishing one, where you have to be the first one to tap the button to catch the largest fish. A player that's not doing anything will never win that game. But
yeah. Quick funny story. I was at IGN a couple years back, and Jack DeVries, I believe, was reviewing one of the Mario and Sonic games, I think, because it was a ice hockey mini game. And
that would probably be at the Winter Olympic Games.
Yeah. So he was playing this, and he just decided to put the controller down and leave it alone. And the computer AI could not score on him. I think he played like the first half, and he said, "You know what? Put it down and just watch." And we watched it for a while, and I think the computer managed to score 1 point against him by him doing absolutely nothing, and he still won 27-1 or however many points he grabbed in the first half.
You can get 27 points in ice hockey. I wasn't aware. I didn't realize the scoreboards went above 5 points.
I don't know, but I was actually kind of surprised that little anecdote did not make his review. But whatever. So, okay, let us see. What shall we talk about now? Oh, yes. So, my video, Captain Toad, Headbutts, Toadette, and the Crotch, which I uploaded in early January, and Nintendo immediately claimed on copyright grounds, which I disputed, and Nintendo 4 weeks later rejected the claim. So I appealed their rejection of my dispute of its claim on my video. Follow all that? Which gave Nintendo a further 30 days to decide if it wanted to drop it or issue a DMCA takedown on my video. Well, 31 days later, apparently the claim was dropped or abandoned. I get the sense that Nintendo just didn't do anything, so it expired.
Yeah,
I didn't
probably.
get a note. I didn't get a message. I didn't get a notification. No email, no notification, nothing. I just said, well, it's 31 days, and I checked. I went, oh, the claim is gone. Well, okay, publish. So you can now watch my video, Captain Toad, Headbutts, Toadette, and the Crotch. It's exactly what it sounds like. And all advertising revenue from that game, from that video, goes to me.
Nice.
So I made 3 promises 2 months ago when my video was first claimed. 1, you all will get a chance to see the video at some point. Check. 2, Nintendo will not see a single penny from my video. Check. 3, Nintendo will look like an asshole. I will leave that one to you to check. So I have a new video that premieres tomorrow. It's called Video Game Fashion Police. And it's already uploaded. I just need to time the subtitles and it's done. I'll I think 10 a.m. I think it's set to publish at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, so you'll be able to see it then. And I was wondering if Nintendo would claim this one too, because it uses a bit of footage from Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water. But Nintendo has not claimed this video. So has Nintendo had a change of heart? Does Nintendo now respect fair use? My guess is probably not. It's probably more likely that Nintendo just didn't upload those clips into Content ID.
Probably not. It is. How old is that game? How long ago did that one release?
Last fall of 2015. This is the new Fatal Frame.
This is a new game, so that's actually kind of surprising that they haven't uploaded the Content ID footage for that. So unless that specific part. Proto Man Dan says Fatal Frame isn't a first-party title. So that's probably why.
True. As Laxter points out, they are the publisher, though. So that may be, which would lead to be why perhaps it's not in the Content ID system, since it's not a first-party Nintendo game. It's just published by Nintendo. Proto Man says they don't claim anything from Bayonetta 2 either, so that may be it. So although I do have a video out there that uses some footage of well, it's not cutscene footage, so that's probably why. I have one that uses some Mario 3D World footage, but it's actual gameplay footage. So
yeah, gameplay footage is a lot more difficult to Content ID because unless the game is an on-rails thing, everybody's video is going to be different in at least some respect. And so it's only cutscenes that they could really make a specific claim on. The only time I've seen gameplay videos get Content ID'd was when Playboy Content ID'd somebody's Mario Maker video because they played the same video or the same level that Playboy.
It's one of those auto.
It's like you just stand there and the game carries you through to the end, and which is to me just seems kind of stupid.
Well, to Playboy's credit, they apparently had some process where all of their videos get submitted to Content ID. And in this particular case, because that level will play out exactly the same way every single time, it's going to match anyone else who tries to upload that particular level. And again, to Playboy's credit, they immediately pulled that one and released all their claims on it. So yay on Playboy there.
Yeah, but but I want to talk more about your experience here because you have shown really how I don't want to say futile, because you ended up being able to release your video with ad revenue intact, but the problem is it took you 58 days to do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And for somebody that's doing like a review of a brand new game or a let's play of a brand new game, 58 days, you might as well have not have made the video at all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the incredibly fortunate position to of making YouTube videos for fun. I don't do YouTube. I mean, the ad revenue I do earn, which is about $12 a month, it's really nice. It helps me go out to sushi once a month, but it's not something I do for a living. So I have the ability. If anyone claims my video, I can wait them out. And this particular video was about Captain Toad, which was not timely anyway. That game's a year or so old now anyway.
Yeah.
At least. Even Fatal Frame it came out last fall. It's fairly recent, but it's not exactly timely either. If I had, for instance, if I had a video going up today that was a review of Zootopia, which I think that came out Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and it got claimed for trailer footage that I used in the in the video, no one would care about my review of Zootopia 2 months later. Or
Yeah.
another example, no one would care about my reaction to the Ghostbusters trailer 2 months from now. No one
No.
cares. Very few people
Yeah.
care today. No one's going to care 2 months from now. So
Yeah.
you're right. As I pointed out in an article that I wrote for Game Politics earlier this week, I think, that is a humongous problem with this. I'm in the fortunate case where I can just keep my video private so that no one watches and it doesn't earn revenue until the claimant drops their damned claim.
Mm-hmm.
Other people don't have that option because they need to make money, and the work isn't going to be relevant in 2 months. So they may as well throw the video away. At least publishing it, people get to see it and enjoy it, and it may help their brand. But and I totally lost my train of thought. Damn it. Yeah, it's gone.
But yeah, that's the problem with this whole thing. Like with the DMCA, yours was a content ID claim, but with the DMCA, the process is the copyright holder sends in a claim or a DMCA notice. The video is immediately taken off the service. It's
and
like
your
it's
account
not,
is striked.
and your account is striked. But after 14 days, if they don't if they don't respond to your appeal, or they don't file a lawsuit, your video goes back online. But it's 14 days. That's 2 weeks. For a lot of videos, 2 weeks is the same thing as 2 months or 2 years.
It may as well be 2 years.
And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And with a content ID claim, taking 60 days, that's absolutely ridiculous. There needs to be a more timely manner that Google enforces for these responses. There's no reason that you find, if you get a content ID claim and you file an appeal that very same day, you have an expectation that your appeal will be responded to within a reasonable amount of time, and 30 days is not a reasonable amount of time.
What I was going to say is the money. So a claimant claims your video, they now get all the revenue from your video. No questions asked. They don't have to prove that it's not fair use. They don't have to prove that they actually have the rights to claim your video. No, they just claim your video. So you could conceivably just troll. And
there's actually people out there that do make money doing that. They just,
for example,
troll.
I might be able to take some of the cutscene footage from Fatal Frame and upload it into Content ID and claim anyone who wants to use it.
Yep.
So if you win a Content ID claim, which is usually because the claimant just doesn't bother to do anything. They don't follow up. It's a completely automated system. You don't get the money back. So if I had, so let's pretend that I had actually released the video to the public back in January. All 33 cents or whatever that video would have earned over the last 2 months would be Nintendo's. I don't get that. So my suggestion would be that when a video is claimed, all revenue should be held in escrow until the claim is resolved. And then the revenue is given to the claimant if the claim holds, or given to the video producer if the claim is dropped or defeated.
Yeah, exactly. That is and Google has the power to do that.
Okay.
Because they're holding my $17 in escrow for my Google AdSense ads. They're holding that until I earn $100, and so they have the power to hold whatever money they bring in through YouTube ads. They don't have to pay this out, but they do because it's good for their relationship with the copyright holders.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
I don't think that copyright holders are inherently evil. I think that they just have no incentive to do the right and proper thing. Why would Nintendo waste any resources actually bothering to watch my video when they can just, anyone who's using this footage, claim it? And if they dispute the claim, reject it. If they push it, whatever, let it go. We have all their money. Doesn't matter.
Laxter,
Go ahead.
But Laxter asks, who can upload stuff into Content ID? It's not just any YouTube creator, is it? And that I'm not entirely sure. I think anybody can, as long as they check a box that says that they own the copyrights.
I think you have to create a specific. I'd have to look into it. I don't think it's as simple as go to the Content ID page and just start uploading stuff. I think you have to create some type of account to do that. But I think it's almost as simple as that. I'd have to really look into that.
But based on the number of actual trolls there are on YouTube and on Content ID, I don't think the process is vetted very well.
Yeah. For example, I do have the ability to, as a content creator, I can upload all of my videos into Content ID. I don't know if there's a fee for that or where I'd go or how I do that, but I do know that it is an option available to me that I could actually put my videos into Content ID, so that if someone else was like, hey, this Eisen guy is a jackass, look at the stupid things he said, and then they show a clip of me saying stupid things, I can now claim their video. I seriously doubt anyone's actually using my videos for anything. I know of at least two people who have, but they both asked permission.
But this happens though.
Yes.
Take for instance politics. Say somebody's running for office and they release a commercial or a video online, and then a news channel uses footage from that in their report, and then they upload their report and they upload it to Content ID too as well. And then the original video, the one that they're commenting on, gets taken down or ad revenue taken away because the news company or the news station Content ID claimed it. That is completely backwards. That should never happen, but it happens all the time because Content ID is just a black box system. Something goes in, Content ID claims come out. That's all there is to it.
Laxter, in response to my idea of claiming any video that uses excerpts from my videos to critique them, Laxter asks, wouldn't that be fair use on their part, you hypocrite? Yes, it would be fair use on their part, which is why I don't do things like that. But claiming, if someone used a portion of my video in order to critique the things I was saying, that would be fair use. If I
Exactly.
tried to claim their entire video and monetize it for myself, that would be a bad faith argument.
Yeah.
But who cares, because there is absolutely no consequence to making a bad faith claim on a video, an invalid, bogus, bad faith claim. There's
Exactly.
no consequences. There's no repercussion. There's no incentive not to do that. What's the worst thing that happens is I don't get all of their money. That's the worst thing that happens. They immediately make their video private. It doesn't generate ad revenue, and I get nothing. That's the worst That's the worst case scenario for any rights holders in these cases.
Yeah, exactly. And the only other downside is they have to click the reject appeal button on that 30th day. It's like, yeah, I reject your appeal.
Or I'm guessing just don't do anything, and it automatically drops, which I think is what Nintendo did. I don't think Nintendo
consciously
accepted my appeal. I think it just didn't do anything. I think the timer just ran out.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo ever actually watched my video and made a decision. Which
no, and they have no incentive to do so. Then that's the other problem. They have no incentive to actually investigate anything.
I think content, and I mentioned this in the article I wrote, but I think Content ID should not automatically claim a video. I don't think anyone should have the option to set that up. I think Content ID should only send an email to whoever uploaded in the first place and said, here's a link to a video that's using a part of your footage. You go watch it, and then you make a decision as to whether you want to claim it or not. But before you do, if you want to make a claim, you actually have to fill out this form. The same form that I have to fill out when someone claims my stuff, explaining why they don't own the rights to monetize my stuff. I think they should have to fill out the same form explaining why they own the rights to my stuff. And then I can write back, and there should be a dialogue here.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. It's just checkbox. Anything that it matches, claim it, and dispute any reject any disputes. That's crappy. So, where's the fair use? I don't know. We're still looking.
There is no fair use. Fair use is a myth.
No fair use for you.
All right. Well, we should probably
one more topic. So, because this one's just kind of funny. So we've been talking about the courts have been asking. The FBI wants Apple to unlock a dead terrorist's iPhone so that they can get in there and see what numbers he was calling and what video game, and see how far he got on Flappy Bird.
I don't think Flappy Bird was available on the iPhone when they got this thing, but maybe they're playing Candy Crush.
Okay, Candy Crush. So it's just a joke, man. All right, so really, District Attorney, San Bernardino District Attorney Michael Ramos, I assume his name is pronounced, said the following: the iPhone is a county-owned telephone that may have connected to the San Bernardino County computer network. The seized iPhone may contain evidence that can only be found on the seized phone that it was used as a weapon to introduce a lying dormant cyber pathogen that endangers San Bernardino's infrastructure. And he actually, this is something he said in an actual for real court filing. That
I love it. I love it. A lying dormant cyber pathogen. This is great.
Even better is let's see, a forensic iPhone expert who Jonathan. Oh, good Lord. It's got ZDZ. The Zarsky. Oh, John, I'm so sorry.
We have a hard enough time pronouncing names without throwing 3 consonants at the beginning.
Seriously.
Unrelated consonants.
So our friend John, who is apparently a forensic iPhone expert that Ars Technica spoke to, said, "It sounds like he's making up these terms as he goes. We've never used these terms in computer science." I think what he's trying to suggest is that the terrorist was somehow working with someone to install a program on the iPhone that would infect the local network with some kind of virus or worm or something along those lines. Anything is possible, right? Do they have any evidence whatsoever to show there is any kind of cyber pathogen on the network, or any logs or network captures to show that the terrorist's phone tried to introduce some unauthorized code into the system?
Probably not.
My money is probably not. No.
Well, see, this is a DA, a district attorney, a guy who makes his living by putting people into jail.
Yeah.
That is his one goal. His one goal in life is to put people in jail. And in order to do that, he needs to be able to scrounge up whatever evidence he can and bury whatever evidence he feels is uncomfortable or not conducive to his argument. And he wants the iPhone, he wants the FBI to succeed in pressuring Apple to create this backdoor. And that's not the type of person that I trust in making these kind of decisions. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust the FBI. I especially don't trust little lowly DAs and whose sole job is to put people into jail.
Yeah, I mean, how did I don't know if this is James's words or Ars Technica's words, but someone called this a magical unicorn theory. Well, there might be this cyber pathogen that's lying dormant on a network just waiting to go booga booga, and the only cure, the antidote, is locked in this iPhone. And it's like, okay, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
It really. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
That's the most plausible danger that you could come up with.
Yeah, but I'm the type of person that if I were to do something like this, I wouldn't do something that I would have to activate. Where I would have to actually go in there and push a button and say, okay, now you can attack something. I would be the type of person that would have an application that I have to stop it from going forward. You see that in movies where it's like, hey, if I don't log into this system in the next 3 hours, all this information is going to get dumped on the internet and you're going to look bad. I'm that type of person. If I were to do something like this, it would be that. I have to manually log in and tell it not to do something. Whereas if I don't get there, it's going to do whatever it's going to do. So if I were that type of person, that's how I would do it. So this whole argument just doesn't make any sense in that context.
Yeah, I just thought the cyber pathogen. I'm like, oh, what? And I love this other guy's like, that's not actually a thing, dude. I mean, I understand what you're getting at, but that's really not
I like the term. I like the term.
I actually do kind of like it. Yeah, cyber pathogen.
It's fun and flamboyant, and
it's very evocative.
It rolls off the tongue, But it's one of those things. It's like everybody puts cyber in front of everything in order to make it sound more ominous or more techy or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we got cyber war now. It's like, what is a cyber war? Nobody can actually define cyber war. But it's a thing. Yeah.
So, one more thing real quick. 13UCube asks me the music at the end of my videos and also the intro music to this podcast, where did that come from? That is it's called Albino, and it was written by Brian Boyko, and it's just a public domain song. When we started the show a few years ago, we just browsed a public domain archive and listened to a bunch of stuff, and that was one of the songs we picked out, and I've since adopted it for the outro music to my YouTube videos, just because it has a nice quiet build up to a da 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 ba 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 ba. So it just works, I think, for how I tend to use it.
Yeah.
So Albino is the name of the piece, and it's by Brian Boyko, and it's a public domain song that you can do whatever the heck you want with, as long as you note somewhere that it's it's in the credits to, I think so. I'm pretty sure it's in the credits to all my videos. I should probably double check
the credits to the podcast.
It's definitely in the credits to the podcast, though. So.
Yeah. But Laxter has a very, very fun comment here about the cyber pathogen. He says, "Don't let politicians scare you about cyber pathogens into getting cyber vaccines. I heard they give your computer cyber autism."
And
good stuff.
Vixen
I like
is suggesting we rename the show Cyber Podcast Action Committee. It does make it sound more high tech. So.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's it for our show this week. Thanks everyone for watching. It's actually going to come once I edit out that 10 minutes of me whining about mean people on the internet. I think the show will actually end up being a little under an hour, so that's nice for a change. Anyway, let's see. Let's plug our stuff and get out of here. Andrew Eisen, c'est moi. Eisen is the last name, and plug it into YouTube, and you'll find awesome videos like Captain Toad, Headbutts, Toadette, and the Crotch, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is exactly what it sounds like. And
it's a good video. I like it.
I'm glad you did. And tomorrow I'm trying something new. My sister and I put a video together called Video Game Fashion Police, in which we take a look at and critique the fashion sense of a video game character. This episode 1, which may be the only episode we do, it depends on how well it's received, takes a look at the outfit worn by Yuri Kozukata in Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water. I chose her because she wears a belt around her right thigh. And that's the only reason. She's wearing like a black shorts and an orange shirt, and she has this belt right around her right thigh. And I'm like, what is with the belt? So my sister and I critique her from a fashion perspective, and I think it's about 10 minutes. I think it turned out pretty well. So give it a look. Let us know what you think, and if you want to see more video game fashion police, definitely hit up the comments and recommend characters you'd like us to comment on. Other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at Andrew Eisen. I often say all the really stupid things in my head that I can fit into 140 characters. Most of the stupid things in my head are like really lengthy, so only the short stupid things go on Twitter. You can also check out my Facebook page, Andrew Eisen YouTube. So there you go. Yes, in the crotch. Says 13 cube. Zachary, plug away.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at EasyKnight, and you can also follow my game development work. It's DK_gaming, and it's DivineKnightGaming.com is the website. And you can follow the Oklahoma game development scene. It's OK Game Devs on Twitter and OKGameDev.com. So check all that out.
All right, you've been listening to Super Podcast Action Committee, or should I say Cyber Podcast Action Committee? Weekly podcast every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on GamePolitics.com, and if you head over there while we're live, you can join in the chat. It's a lot of fun. So, in the meantime, send us email at superpackpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at superpackpodcast. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes, and like us on Facebook. We will see ya all next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.